part.
We're going to do this thing.
I would hope so.
I would love to, man.
I would hope so.
Respect, man.
All the best.
Respect.
All the best.
We'll do a quick picture.
Sure.
Yeah?
Let's get it.
A face off.
No.
Just.
Daddy, chill.
No problem. No problem.
That's great. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you, Tom.
I would love to have the honour one day. I would love to have the honour.
Maybe one day.
Hope so, man. All the best. All the best. How's everything?
It's healing. So slowly but surely.
Okay. All the best, man.
Thanks.
Thank you, man. Thanks for letting me come up. Thank you.
Who fuck is horse beef, dude? I'm talking about Jon Jones. Once again, man, the people are asking for it, so you know I'm a man of the people. I gotta bring the people what they want. Gotta roast Jon Jones a little more, I guess, man, because everyone's so up in arms about everything he's doing these days. Rage baiting, I can only assume it is, and everyone's feeding into it, man. But I do find it fun to make fun of the guy, so I guess I'll give the people what they want. You know, he's been going out and replying to people commenting on his social media posts talking about crime or this and that, so clearly he's trying to rile the people up. Now either this is him just trying to rage bait to build the fight, or it's him just fucking rage baiting because he thinks it's hilarious. And either way, man, the people are feeding into it. But it does leave some confusion in our minds when we hear him speak the way that he speaks about essentially not wanting to fight ever again, about how he's set, his legacy is set and all this shit, and he's very content living his best life, right? Because everyone living their best life constantly feels the need to talk about how they're living their best life because they're just so happy, right? Everyone's so happy when they're constantly talking about living their best life, right? But then we have little replies like this, where this Alfredo individual says, "So are you fighting again or not? You are the current champion of the division." And Johnny Bones Jones says, "Not a bad idea," right? So I guess it does leave a lot of confusion, and it does seem like he's doing this all deliberately. It seems like it, or he's just a deeply insecure individual who does feel the need to reply to all of these comments because they have a genuine effect on him. But it's replies like this that lead me to believe that the latter is actually the truth. So this Harris Iqbal individual says, "Yes, otherwise you'd have vacated the belt a long time ago because you don't plan to fight Tom." And Johnny Bones says, "Y'all barking up the wrong tree. I told the UFC my plans a long time ago, and I have no idea why they haven't shared that with you guys," right? And honestly speaking, like, I have to play devil's advocate for a second. Everyone is shitting on Jon Jones, and I understand that he's a shitty person, and it's fine to dogpile on him because he's a shitty human being. But he's, honestly speaking, been pretty clear about what he's going to do and what he wants to do next. I honestly don't believe that he ever had any interest in fighting Tom. It's been very obvious from his own words. He's explicitly said that he doesn't really care to fight Tom and that he only wants to fight Pereira. He's stated that Tom Aspinall is too much of a risk. He's essentially said it outright, and people are confused that he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall still. And what it seems like to me is that Dana White is still holding out hope that he can convince Jon Jones with a big enough figure to just swallow his pride and accept the fight against the very risky matchup in Tom Aspinall. But I'm not even sure if there is a figure that's realistic that Dana White could offer that Jon Jones would actually be willing to accept, because he knows he loses that one. He knows, right? Just watch his performance against old man Stipe Miocic. The man looked slow as molasses in there. Jon Jones looked slow as molasses in there, right? Tom Aspinall runs through his ass, and he fucking knows it, I believe. He does. He knows it. And on to the next reply here. Fuzz, this great gentleman named Fuzz, says, "Enjoying your last days as champ before being stripped, I see, John?" And then he says, "Stripped? Lol, do I come across as the type of person who cares about things like that?" Now Jon Jones, to me, he clearly cares about holding that strap so that he can have that record, right? That seems to be what he's doing. And for me, I've said it before, but I believe that Jon Jones is simply just holding Tom Aspinall's career hostage out of spite for him. I do believe it at this point, and it's completely ridiculous considering how respectful that Tom Aspinall has been this whole time. And Jon Jones jumps to conclusions and gets real insecure and in his feelings every time Tom says anything about him at all. So it's very clear that Jon Jones is extremely threatened by Tom. It's obvious at this point. But before we get into more Jon Jones specific talking points, I want to speak about Dana White, because Dana White has completely lost control of this company, and he is allowing fighters like Jon Jones to be prima donnas. The only reason I could think of him allowing Jon Jones to hold this title hostage the way that he has held it hostage is because Jon Jones has dirt on him. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. And this, like, the longer this gets dragged out, the more I believe firmly that Jon Jones has like P. Diddy type dirt on Dana White, because there is no reason why Dana White, right, he built this company from the ground up essentially, right? He saved it and turned it into what it is today. And now he is completely tarnishing the company with bullshit like this, allowing Jon Jones to hold onto a belt just so we can have this fucking arbitrary record of the longest reigning champion, even though you have one single title defense over old man Stipe, who could not wait to get out of the octagon in that night. But the biggest issue for me when it comes to Jon Jones is just the hypocrisy, right? When he starts talking about his age, suddenly now age is a huge factor for him. But what if fighters like, I don't know, Rampage Jackson or Daniel Cormier or any of these fighters who were much older than Jon Jones at the time that they fought him, with these very weathered careers, like even Shogun was only 29 when he fought Jon Jones. I believe Jon Jones was 23. But that was Shogun after a very lengthy career in Pride, right? Broken bodies. He was pretty much a 40-year-old man when he was 29, right? So I don't actually consider 29 to be a young Shogun. No. That was not even in his prime. He was broken at that point as a human being. He was completely broken down. But what if DC had the same mentality? DC got into MMA late and essentially ragdolled much bigger men than him for his entire career, never complained, nothing. Just a fighter's fighter, fought everyone put in front of him, did his very best, never complained, never acted like he was fucking old man going up against all these young guns and making excuses, nothing like that, man. That's a fighter's mentality. Now that Jon Jones has these readily available excuses about his age, this and that, he constantly peddles them. Right? What if these fighters didn't give you an opportunity because you were just a younger man? Nah, man, old school mentality. Like DC, Shogun, all these motherfuckers. I thought Jon Jones had that, but now he's acting like one of these like same bitch-made champions that are existing in today's age. Right? He's no different, even though he comes from that past generation. He's acting like a bitch. And that's not to say that Jon Jones or any champion for that matter is a fucking bitch. Obviously, these are some of the toughest people on the planet. But I'm just saying, compared to past champions, right? Past generations, fighters and champions are becoming prima donnas, and Jon Jones made his career off of fighting older men, and now he's trying to act like this is a reason for him not to fight the interim champion in the division where he is the undisputed champion. It is pathetic, and it really puts into question his entire legacy as a whole, because this forces us to put his career under the microscope. It does, and when you actually put his career under the microscope, it's very easy to find cherry-picked opponents, this and that, maybe asterisks to put on this win or that win. It's very easy, and this behavior from Jon Jones only opens up that type of criticism.
I guess the clarifying question then is, if Dana and Hunter do come to you after this fight, the figures make sense to you, would you then be open to fighting Tom Aspinall, or are you categorically thinking, he does nothing for me, I will not fight that guy?
He does nothing for me. He does nothing for me. If you're a person that wants to see me really challenged, then I get it. 7 years younger, like 35 pounds bigger than me, right? I get it. It's like, wow, this John's so good. We finally found someone way younger and way bigger than him. Let's see how he does it. I get that narrative. But for me, if you were my manager, if you were on my team, why not fight against Pereira, a guy who's the same age as you, and we walk around the same exact size? Business-wise, it makes more sense. I'm going to call him this, fight the nobody that may be more dangerous, or fight the guy with all the accolades who's incredibly dangerous, but it actually will affect your legacy.
And these are the moments right here. These are the interviews that let me know a long time ago explicitly that Jon Jones will not fight Tom Aspinall. I honestly believe that he only wants that Alex Pereira fight, right? I've said it in replies to comments. I've said it many times before. He only wants the Alex Pereira fight because Alex Pereira is a name, right? He's a name, even though it's a stylistic mismatch, and you would fight him at heavyweight, a division that Alex Pereira's never fought at, where he would be probably a bit bigger than Alex Pereira, maybe not a whole lot bigger than Alex Pereira, but you know that stylistically, especially with how he performed against Ankalaev, that would not go well for Alex Pereira, and we know that, but it's just a name, right? He doesn't care about anything else but the name to go on the resume, so he could say, oh, I beat a 2-division Glory champion and 2-division UFC champion, as if that's all that goes into it, right? But Tom Aspinall, on the other hand, right, heavyweight champion, who apparently hasn't accomplished anything, even though he is the interim champion in the division that you are currently fighting in, with an impeccable octagon time, like combined octagon time, which paints the picture of a fucking dangerous man that you simply just do not want to go up against. And that is fine, but just simply vacate. And now we have a petition going around that actually has a decent amount of signatures. I don't think that it's going to do anything because ultimately Dana White has the final say, and I think it'll really come down to the wire. Like, Dana White, I believe, will do anything in his power to get Jon Jones to sign on the dotted line, and we will not see Jon Jones stripped until Dana White has exhausted all of his options. But man, Jon Jones' Thailand escapades have been very, very, very telling.
My man.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see you again.
You know, John, but you are still active. 10 years left, but you are still active.
He said you got 10 years left, but you're still active.
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
You got to look great. He's like, oh.
I'm looking forward to seeing you again, Camille. You look great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's do some business.
Wow. Very, very telling video here. He says, I'm done. I can only imagine he's either saying that to further rile up the people, or maybe negotiations with the UFC have just fallen through altogether. I'm not too sure, but I do believe it. I believe that Jon Jones is done, but I don't even care, because I knew that he was done to begin with, right? If he didn't get the Alex Pereira fight, if Dana White didn't want to give him the Alex Pereira fight, I simply don't believe that he wanted to fight anybody else. It's fucking obvious at this point. But I want to focus on the part near the end where he says, you look great. And then he says, let's do some business. And if you pay attention to the way that he said, let's do some business, clearly he's alluding to some other shit. I can only imagine that he's alluding to some kind of anal activities with each other, man. Listen, I'm not an expert in the field or anything, but when Jon Jones is talking about, you look great, hey, let's do some business, like the way that he said it, you knew there was a wink behind that as well. So listen, I'm just gonna go and just assume that he is referring to like some kind of activity involving anus penetration. If you, hey, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying not to be too explicit here. He wants to fuck him in the ass, pretty much is what I'm trying to say.
I am gay. I like men. I lift weights. I can dance.
Wow, dude, he was very on beat with that shit. It's almost like this dance was meant for this song, man. And I fucking overlaid it over the video, and it just fits so incredibly perfectly. It just fits right. I don't know, man. Jon Jones dancing to that song, he just feels like he's in his element. Good for him. I just wish he would embrace it. Just embrace it, man. And maybe you wouldn't feel the need to constantly qualify yourself to a bunch of random fucking people on Twitter. Because think about it, right? When you are Jon Jones and you've accomplished what you've accomplished, all of these title defenses, and the fact that you still feel the need to qualify yourself to people on Twitter like this, just listening off your entire rap sheet, raises the question of, do you actually believe that you are as great as you portray? I don't think so. Jon Jones is deeply insecure, and he's insecure about his legacy. And I do believe, and like I've said before many times in the past when speaking about Jon Jones, I think when all is said and done, if he does end his career off on this note, right, whether it be retirement now or a win over Alex Pereira, the asterisk will always be there. The question will always be there of, what if he fought Tom Aspinall, right? And the ducking. That will define his career in the end, because it's all about what have you done for me lately. Maybe, a decade or so in the future, after Jon Jones has completely retired and he's wiped off the face of the earth, we don't have to hear from the guy. Maybe people will start to turn around on it once again and look at his career, look at his resume and all that, and start to be a little bit more objective about it. But all you're doing is opening up these same critics online that you feel the need to qualify yourself to constantly. You're just reaffirming their beliefs with every day that goes by where you do not fight Tom Aspinall and you're in Thailand smelling Russian individuals' hair. You're only putting it more into question and proving these people right. You know what I mean? So that's it, guys. That does conclude my thoughts on Jon Jones, my updated thoughts on Jon Jones. Spoiler alert, obviously they have not changed. He's still a fucking gay retard. But it is what it is, guys. Don't really give a shit at the end of the day. And I do want to say, I apologize for no videos recently. I have been quite busy, and at the same time, not having time to make videos, I also just haven't been that motivated to make videos. Because once again, the UFC, I just feel like it's completely iced out. There's nothing going on, and I just cannot bring myself to upload daily slop bullshit for you guys, like, unless I really, really have something I want to talk about. Like, not that my videos are of the highest grade. I'm not claiming that whatsoever, but just posting videos for the sake of it, I just can't bring myself to do it to you guys. But I will have more time in the coming weeks leading up to the middle of June or so, where I may have to slow down once again. But let's see how that all goes, guys. Of course, life gets in the way every now and then, but I will do my very, very best to be as consistent as possible. But you can expect some more consistent uploads in the coming weeks at the very least. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.